Welcome to the Flexibility Flow 5, our full body flow. Today we will start class with our breath of fire. We'll take an inhale to a count of 4, and exhale to a count of 4 through the nose. Inhale halfway, pushing the belly button back. Exhale in quick, sharp bursts. For about 20 times, we'll do 3 total rounds. Close your eyes. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale halfway. And exhale, 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 exhale. Out, 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 out. Exhale, 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 exhale. Out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Recover. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale halfway. Exhale, 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 exhale. Out, 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 out. Try to relax your shoulders and your face as you press. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Recover. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale halfway. And exhale, 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 exhale. Out, 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 out. Use the belly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we'll recover. Inhale. And full exhale. Place your right hand onto your heart, your left hand onto your belly, and repeat in your mind, may these practices heal and strengthen my body and my mind. May these practices heal and strengthen my body and my mind. Return your hands to your knees and open your eyes. We'll move to our hands and our knees pose. We will make 5 circles going all the way around to the right, shifting your weight forward over your wrists, circling front and back, gently just starting to shift weight into your hands, warming up through your wrists, all the way around, and we'll go the other way, 5 circles to the left, circling around. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back to center. Hands and knees. Turn your right fingertips back towards your knee, and you'll lift your palm up off the floor. Bend your elbow. Keep your fingertips down, but try to just lift the palm of your hand to your first knuckles, and then lower down. Bend and extend. Bend and extend. Curve in, straighten the arm, in and extend. Press, open and extend. Lift, heel of the hand presses down. And we will do that on the other side. Turn the right fingertips forward, the left fingertips back. Lift the heel of the hand up to the first knuckle and extend the arm. Bend and extend. Bend and extend. Bending down, lifting the palm of the hand, then pressing the heel of the hand back down firmly to the mat. Getting the arm all the way extended and straight. Bend and press and in and lengthen. Bend and press. Fingertips turn back to the front. Here we'll lift the heel of the hand up to the first knuckles again, but with both hands lifting up and down, trying to get your hands up as high as you can and create a nice crease from your first knuckle all the way into the palm of your hand. So you'll lift and lower, lift and lower, and then we'll hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release down. Turn both the fingertips back towards your knees. Come back onto your heels as much as you can. You might not be able to get all the way back, and that's okay. Release your head down in between your arms and try to press the heel of your hand down onto the mat. The closer your fingertips are to your knees, the less intense the stretch will be. The further your fingertips are from your knees, the more intense. So you can decide where that is, but don't go further if you can't get the heel of your hand down to the mat. So if your heel of your hand is down and your fingertips are close, you can move them away to where you're further away from your knees. Hold here for a bit longer, let your head go. Really getting a stretch, and we'll shift forward back to hands and knees. Turn your fingertips out to the outsides of the room and gently begin to shift your weight from the right to the left, side to side. Remembering to hold your belly button in towards your spine so your lower back is lengthened and not arched with your belly drooping down. Sink back over your heels, sit down, reach your arms forward and blink your fingertips open and closed, just closing the fingertips in towards your palms. So you're not making a fist, you're just blinking those fingertips, trying to relax your shoulders down, getting some work through the forearms, through the wrists and the fingers. It's really good for any time you need to have some strength in your wrists and your hands. This is a really good exercise to practice. Just keep blinking them as quickly and as fast as you can. We're just about there. Keep your breath going. Try not to slow down the blinking of your fingers. Keep them active and moving. Open and close and release. Shake your hands out. We will slide our hand down our wrist all the way until we have we're grabbing onto the wrist, and we will turn the wrist in towards us, so we're bending it as much as we can as we push that palm down towards us. Lift it back up and circle it around for 5 times in one direction, and then reverse 5, 4, 3, 2, wiggle those hands. Other side, slide your hand all the way down from your knuckles all the way down to your wrist. Turn your wrist in towards you and stretch through the hand, through the top of your hand and through your wrist. And then we'll do our circles. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake your hands all the way out. Come back onto your hands and knees. Move your knees back under your hips. We'll begin some scapular push-ups. So keeping the arms nice and long, you'll release your chest down to the mat, and then you'll protract the shoulders as you round your upper back and press it towards the ceiling. Exhales will release the chest. Inhales will press the chest up. Try and round the upper spine as much as you can, isolating the movement in your scapula. So the scapula is dipping and lowering, and then reversing and pulling back up. Come back to neutral. Walk your hands long in front of you. Curve your spine. Keep your head off your mat and try to round your spine as much as possible, tucking your head into your tail and holding here. We're starting to work into our shoulders now. Keep breathing deeply. This is a very gentle opening here. We'll go a little deeper with each of these next few stretches. So right now, just enjoy this stretch. Everyone will hit just a little different area of the shoulder as we stretch here to try and get the whole shoulder joint opened and ready to move. Keep rounding the spine as you hold, pulling your belly button in and pressing your shoulder blades up towards the ceiling as much as you can. Your hips will stay high. Your breath will stay full as you hold in this lifted puppy pose. Into the next one, a full puppy pose. So the arms will stay where they are, the hips will stay where they are, and we'll try to sink the chest down towards the mat. Option 1 is to put your forehead on the mat and sink the chest down and the armpits down towards the floor. Option 2 is where you lift your head and place your chin gently on the mat to get a little more opening through your chest. You're still trying to lift your belly in. Your back will arch here, but try not to just relax everything. Try to keep your belly engaged to a degree so that you are supporting your lower spine. And the goal here is to, rather than try to get the lower spine super arched, to get the upper and middle spine super arched. So we're trying to open the chest down to the mat and get it closer to the mat rather than arching more through our lower back. It's difficult to breathe in this position, so just do your best. We'll roll back up, and our last one is we're just going to place our head on the mat. We'll drop our scapula back towards our hips or down our back as we open up through the armpits. And take a little bit of a breather for the chest with our head down, our hips high, and our arms as fully as extended as we can possibly get them. So try not to allow your elbows to bend here. Try to have fully straight arms in all of these poses. Continue to breathe deeply with your inhales and your full exhales. Finding the opening on the underside of your arm into your armpits and really hugging the belly button up and in towards the spine. So there shouldn't be a lower back arch in this position. Roll yourself back up to a tabletop position. Come back onto your knees. Take 2 blocks and place them shoulder distance apart in front of you on the lowest level. Your elbows will come onto the blocks, and you may need to wiggle your knees back a little bit. Your hips will stay high, and you'll fold your chest down towards the mat. Let your head release in between your arms. Your hands will touch together in a prayer pose and come back behind your head. So we're really getting to work into the triceps on the back of the arm, starting to open up that area all the way up into the armpits and the shoulder girdle and into the chest as well. So these are just different ways to open up the chest and the shoulders. Again, we don't want a super arched back here, so pull your belly button into the spine and try to get the chest to come forward and down towards the floor. So not so much the lower back, but the upper and middle back is where we want to place the effort of moving down towards the mat. Continue to breathe in your full deep breath. You should be able to breathe pretty fully here in this pose. Relaxing your head down. Release your arms, roll back up through your spine, and move the blocks up to level 2. Step your right foot up in between the blocks. If you need a pillow behind your back knee, you're welcome to take a pillow. And we'll sink down to our blaster pose here with our hands on the blocks this time. And then we will press the legs straight, flex the feet, square the hips off, and let your head release. Again, sink back down to blaster pose, lift the head, exhale back to straight leg. We'll move through these 2 positions, going through blaster to extended leg. And as you start working into these, start to try and drop a little deeper in each of the stretches. So as you come forward, try to drop the back hip down. And as you pull back, try to release your chest closer towards your leg. As you move through these 2 positions, step your back knee back. Your left leg will come forward. We'll take a little bit of a stretch in our blaster here, opening the chest, lifting the head, looking up. Dropping the back hip down towards the mat, lifting the belly button in, And then we'll press the legs straight back, flexing through our feet. You don't have to go super deep here as we're just starting to open up, but just square the hips off and start to release the chest. And now let's move through the two positions, coming forward and backwards, sinking forward, straightening and dropping down. Inhale, blaster pose. Exhale, hamstring stretch. Inhale, blaster. Exhale, hamstring. Forward and back. Inhale. Exhale, back to a tabletop position. Move the blocks off of your mat. Step your feet up, bend your knees, drop your hips down into a squat. If you cannot get down into a full squat, just go as low as you can, and if your heels are lifted, that's okay right now. We're just starting to work into the lower body, starting to wake it up. Inhale, we'll stretch the legs, drop the head. Exhale, tailbone goes down. Inhale, hips high. Exhale, down to your squat. Again, as we move through these positions, you can take your time. You don't have to go into a full squat on the very first one. You can work your way into a deeper squat and more stretch of the legs as we move through these positions. And as we start to open up and oil out the joints, you might feel more range of motion that comes. And that's totally fine to allow yourself time to move into these poses. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. One more inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Now we're going to stay in a full squat. If you can get into a squat, just stay there. Otherwise, if your heels are lifted, roll the back of your mat up like I'm doing here. Place your heels onto the mat, but your toes will come off, and then sink down. If that is still a really difficult position for you to hold, take a block and sit on top of the block. Either one of these options is okay to take if it's really hard on your knees or you don't have the flexibility in your hips to get down into a full squat. If you can get into a squat, come into a squat, place your elbows on the insides of your knees with your palms together. We'll press our knees open with the elbows and then release. So we're starting to open the hips, open and closed, press and release, press and release. And then hold it there with your elbows pressed out. Your right hand is going to come behind your back. Your elbow will rotate inward, and you'll try to place your elbow inside of your knee. And you'll have this nice inward rotation of your shoulder joint. Your hand might have to move off of your spine and come more to the side to accommodate that inward motion of the shoulder, and that's all right as well. We'll come onto the other side, hand onto the spine, rotate the shoulder inward, place your elbow on the inside of your knee, and stretch out. Again, you're welcome to stay on the mat with the mat rolled up or on your block here if you need to take those options. Roll the shoulder in and release down. Step your right foot forward in between your hands and drop down into a runner's lunge. The hip will open as we roll out to the blade of the foot and then roll back to the flat foot, opening the hip out and back to center. Out and in. Open, roll out, roll it in. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, roll it. Inhale, back to flat. Exhale, roll and back to flat. Open and close and open and close and open. We'll stay here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we'll roll to step back and switch sides. Left foot will come up in between the hands, sink down to your runner's lunge, and we'll open, roll to the blade of the foot and back to center. Open the hip, close the hip. Open and close. Open and close. Open and close. Rolling the foot open as you roll the hip open, which will cause the foot to roll out to the blade. So we're really trying to work through the hip joint here. Hold it open. About a 10-second hold. Breathe deeply. Really drop down into that front hip and step back to your downward facing dog. Press the weight into your full palm. All your knuckles are down. Lift the tailbone up high and try to press your chest back towards your thighs. You can bend the knees if you need to. We're going to begin by rolling through your back to a plank position and then pressing the hips back as you come back to your down dog. Lift to your toes, roll forward plank. Exhale back to down dog. Trying to make this roll through your spine very articulate and as luscious as you can. Inhale, roll forward plank. Exhale, hips back. Find your down dog and roll forward to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll to plank. Exhale, hips high, down dog. Take a breath here in down dog. Pushing the chest and opening more through the chest. Now lift your toes and lift your hips as you slowly, on your tiptoes, if at all possible, walk your feet to your hands. And then walk all the way up to the front of the mat, forward fold. Let your head relax. Bend your knees, lift your heels, send your knees forward. Inhale, tailbone goes up. So same thing with our squats, but now we're just in a parallel position with our feet together. And we'll just do one more. Exhale, bend the knees, lift to the toes, press forward. Inhale, tailbone high, forward fold, hang down. Inhale, lift to a flat back. You can slide your hands up onto your thighs. Try to pull your belly button in. Exhale, forward fold, hang down. Bend your knees, roll all the way up to a standing position. I'm going to turn so I can show you this. Our feet will go hip distance apart with our toes and heels lined up. Hands onto our waist. Inhale, look up. Exhale, from your hips, crease forward. Your first two fingers will wrap around your big toe. You'll inhale, straighten your arms, lengthen out. Exhale, open your elbows wide. Point them out to the sides of the room as you expand through your back. And try to release your chest towards your thighs in a forward fold here. Relaxing your head and neck. Tailbone is pointed up straight to the ceiling. And you're trying to lengthen through the back of your legs. They may not get all the way straight, but work to have them nice and lengthened. Keep breathing deeply. Exhale, try to lengthen your head closer to the floor and increase the crease in your hip flexors. So your chest will come closer towards your thighs as you hold here. Getting a great stretch through the legs, but also through your lower back. Keep breathing. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed. Release your hands. And now we'll place the palms of our hands under the soles of our feet. We'll inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, just like we did, open the elbows wide and fold the chest back towards your thighs. Tailbone is pointed right to the ceiling, which means the weight of your feet should really be pressing into your wrists. So your toes are actually touching your wrists and pressing them down, getting a wrist stretch, as well as this hamstring and back stretch. Keep breathing fully and deeply, allowing the exhales to soften you further down into the hold. Just holding here, breathing deeply, allowing your body to be heavy, sinking further down towards the ground and towards your legs. Release your hands. Place them back on your waist, and through a flat back, inhale all the way up to standing. I'm just going to turn back to the side, and we'll step our left foot back. So we should be facing each other now, face to face. Hands onto the waist. Inhale, look up. Exhale, from the waist, fold forward and place your hands down on the mat. Again, the weight should be on the toes, and your tailbone should be pointed up. Inhale, lengthen your spine, flat back. Exhale, fold down. Try to slide your hands back a little further. Your elbows will turn in towards each other. So now they're not flaring out like they did in the other positions. They're going to point right behind you. And you're trying to shift your chest back in between your open legs. Watch that your weight isn't back onto your heels. That would mean that if you were standing, you wouldn't be in alignment. So we want to shift our weight forward over our toes and relax our head and neck as we fold forward, trying to relax the chest in between the legs as much as we can. If the knees are bent here, that is okay. We're going to be holding this for some time, so as we're holding, you might feel more opening, and move into that opening if you feel it, lengthening through the legs, trying to relax your body back in between them more and more. Again, always remember to focus on your breath and your breathing to help you relax. Inhale, hands to the waist, and lift all the way up to a standing position. We'll turn the feet out just to about 45 degrees, and we'll bend the hips down, place our hands on the knees, and gently shift from side to side, working to open up through the hips even more. So we gently shift and rock. It shouldn't be a really big shift. Now we'll rotate the right shoulder inward and look back over the left shoulder. Press your hand into your knee so you're really pushing your hip more open. And we'll change sides. Rotate the left shoulder in, look over the right as you twist, pushing the knee out with your hand. Back to center. Release a little further down if you can. Place your hands onto the mat. Walk them over to your right side. And you may just be able to stay here where you bend a little into the knee with the leg straight. If you can, drop your tailbone down so you're in this like half of a squat with an extended leg. Your hands can stay onto the mat if you need a little more balance and support. If you're all right, you can lift your hands up to prayer position, push your knee out with your elbow, and hold. We'll change sides. Walk your hands over. Again, level 1 is just having a straight leg and having the hips high. Level 2 is dropping the hips down and pushing the elbow into the knee to open up through the hip a little more. On your extended leg, flex your toes and point them up towards the ceiling. Come back to a center. Bend down into your squat. One more time. Hands to the knees. Just press the legs more open. And come all the way up to a standing position. Step the feet together. Face the front of your mat. Inhale, lift the arms overhead, palms touch. Exhale, forward fold from the waist. Release the head. Inhale, look forward, flat back. Exhale, bend your knees as you step back and lower to your knees into a tabletop position. Cat-cow, tilt the pelvis, lift the chest, look up, inhale. Exhale, round the spine, curve everything in. Inhale, tilt the pelvis, lift the chest. Exhale, round the spine and press it in. Inhale, tilt and look up. Exhale, round it out, really protract your shoulders. Inhale, lift, retract the shoulders. Exhale, protract. Inhale, tilt and lift. Exhale, round the spine. back to neutral. Shift your hips back over your heels. Walk your hands forward. Try to extend your arms fully into a child's pose with your head on the mat. Now rotate your palms open to the ceiling, so you'll roll out over your pinky finger, and your palms will be up to the ceiling, and you'll just feel a little more opening this way in your shoulder girdle. Try to sink your hips back as far as you can over your heels, creating a nice rounded ball shape in your back from your tail all the way up to your head. This is a really good place to come back to your breath and just relax, release, and sink down. Rotate your palms back to the mat, come to your tabletop, and make your way onto your bum, whatever way is comfortable for you to get onto your bum. You'll take your left leg, cross it over your right foot will stay extended and flexed. Inhale, lift the right arm up. Exhale, twist and rotate to place the elbow on the outside of your left knee. Anytime we go into rotation, we want to make sure our spine is nice and straight. So we lengthen the spine on the inhale, and then we try to increase the twist on the exhale. Engage your bottom leg so the foot is flexed. Try to get all of your ribs over to the opposite side of your leg. Nice big rotation here through your spine. Big breaths, inhale. And exhale. Again, inhale. And exhale. Continue to breathe. To twist on the exhales and lengthen on the inhales. Just about one more breath here in this twist. Release, look forward. Lift your leg and plant it back. Your left leg will be down. Your right arm will go back behind you. And then press your hips up to the ceiling and look back. You don't have to get super high. Just try to stretch out the front of your body into your belly and into your hip flexors, giving those a nice stretch. Try to look back behind you and then release your bum back down to the floor. Change sides. Left leg will go long. Right foot will cross over, so we're going into that twist. Inhale the left arm up. Exhale, rotate the elbow to the outside of the right knee. Tint your fingertips, lengthen your spine as you sit up, and look back over your back shoulder. Rotating and twisting as much as you can. As you hold here, see if you can get all your rib cage over to the right side of your leg. So you're twisting even deeper on those exhales and trying to sit up even taller on the inhales. Keep breathing fully. You're just about there. Keep that breath long and full. To center, uncross your leg, plant it down, left arm will go back, lift the hips and we'll go back into that arch shape. This is called wild thing. A little bit wild to get up and to arch back. You can do it just fine, however you're comfortable. Release your hips back down, stretch both legs forward, and then
come into a butterfly position. Feet will come together. You'll try to squeeze them in as close as you can to your heels, and then just begin to rock side to side to find your comfort. We'll roll our ribs around, making circles all the way around, starting over to the right and then moving to the left. Rolling our upper body around over our lower body. And change directions, start going to the left and around to the right. Allowing your body to circle all the way around. Shifting through your upper body and come back to center. Inhale, reach your fingertips forward, look to the ceiling. Exhale, you allow your spine to round as you fold down. Your palms will rotate upward toward the ceiling. And then just round your back and hang over your legs. On your exhale, see if you can get your chest a little further down towards your feet. Just allowing gravity to help give you that extra stretch here. As you fold forward, creasing at your hips and stretching through your spine as you round it over your legs. Walk your hands back up as you roll through your spine. Place your fingertips behind you. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the chest, look to the ceiling. Keep trying to squeeze the shoulder blades and open through the chest even more, as much as you can. And release back down. Take underneath your knees to pull them in. Hug your knees and lay your head down onto your knees, just to reset and release here. Inhale, lift and look up. Cross your legs underneath you, just to a comfortable seated position. Interlace your fingers behind your back, squeeze your palms together, squeeze your shoulder blades together as you lift your chest and look to the ceiling, and then exhale, fold forward. In this forward fold, you're really trying to keep a straight back and your sit bones onto the floor. So your head might not come down onto the mat. You could even put a block down and lay your head onto the block if you'd like. It doesn't really matter if your head goes down. Just try to lengthen your spine forward instead of rounding it like we did in our previous stretch. And try to lift your arms over your face as much as you can, so you're really causing your shoulders to open and to rotate. Try to relax your head wherever it is. And then inhale, lift all the way back up. I'm going to turn to face you so you can see this better here. We'll move into a dynamic stretch here, and it's going to go from side to side, starting on the right and then rolling forward and going to the left. Inhale, your arms will reach over your head. Exhale, place the left fingertips down as you reach to the right side. Round your body forward and around all the way to the left side, and then stretch to the side. Roll forward, around, and back up to the right. Look to the ceiling. Shoulders will stack on top of each other as you come into that side stretch. Exhales take you down. Inhales will take you into the stretch. As you start to get more opening, you can start to lift your head and look to the ceiling in that side stretch as well. Inhale, return back to center, and turn to come onto your hands and your knees just for a second, and we'll sit our bum over our heels. If you need to put a block underneath you, you're welcome to do that. Same thing, we'll stretch to the side, over to the right, round around, and then go to the left. So this is our level 1 option. And when we move into these different options, you're welcome to stay here if this feels right for you. You can go at your own pace. Remember, inhales take you up and exhales take you down. We're going to move into the next part and reach to press the hips up for our next, this is level 2. You'll press up as you stretch to the side to add a little more stretch through your legs and your quads here. You're welcome to stay at level 1 if you need to. Otherwise, lift your hips up with me and come side to side. We have one more option here. And for this option, we're going to reach back and grab the heel as we stretch to the side and really press the hips over the knees. So we'll press up over the knees as we grab the opposite heel and lift up. Swing forward, press hips forward, reach to the side. Very last thing we're going to do is reach around just like we did, and then we're going to reach all the way over our head for this next one. So we'll reach around to the side, over your head, try to grab your opposite ankle, and then reach to the back of the room and swing it around forward. We'll change sides, reach to the back of the room, up and around, push your hips forward, grab your heel, left arm comes over the head, reaches forward, and down. Beautiful. And then sink yourself down into a child's pose. You can open your knees as widely as you'd like. Try to get your toes together. Relax your head down onto the mat or down towards the mat if it doesn't exactly touch. Continue to breathe and really start to relax here. We'll roll all the way back up. You can cross your feet underneath you or just swing them forward. And we'll slowly and carefully roll all the way down onto our mat. Drop your knees to the right and to the left, just shifting side to side here. Releasing out your lower spine and your hips. Forward and backward. Come back to center. Wrap your arms around your knees. Hug them in towards your chest. Allow your whole back to be released onto the mat, and then really try to relax your shoulders as well. Your head and your neck are long. And this is just a really time to cool down before we go into our ending Shavasana here. Take your knees and circle them around to the left and around. Just making small circles, trying to make the circles with your arms rather than your legs. And let's change sides. Circle them the other way. Knees go together and around. Hug them back into the chest. And then press your knees open towards your armpits and then squeeze them back together. So hips open, knees, hips together. Open and close. Release back to center. Hug your knees. Really find that hip crease in the front of your legs. So your legs can come all the way up into your belly as much as you can make them. Really lay your legs onto your belly. Open your feet to the sides. Try to put them up towards the ceiling. And then take a hold of the outsides of your feet with your hands and gently press your knees down toward the mat in a happy baby pose. Try to release your hips open wide so the legs are wide apart. The knees are totally bent as you can make them here. And pull gently on the feet. Almost as if just the weight of your hand is helping to open and pull that foot down closer to the floor. We'll try to stay stable here without rocking side to side for right now. Just try to stay neutral with your whole back on the mat, your hips opening out, your knees bent, your head and neck released. keep holding. Really getting a good stretch and release for your lower back. And then the feet will come down. We'll place the soles of the feet together like in a butterfly, and we'll try to reach the feet over our face as much as we can. So the feet might not get over your face, but you're trying to reach them up towards your face, and your hands can wrap around the outsides of the foot to help give a little more weight to pull those feet down closer to your face. This will start to open your hips and your inner thighs in a different way than the happy baby did. We'll hold here for just one more second. Release down, hug your knees. And you can rock side to side here. Just let your feet relax. No need to point or flex. Just really work into your hips. Drop your feet down onto the mat. Turn your knees in towards each other. Your feet will go as wide as your mat, and then you'll knock your knees together. You'll roll up onto the insides of your feet, so your whole foot won't be flat. This is just a nice release for the lower back, and also we're stretching our hips inwardly now, whereas in the last two poses we were stretching them outwardly. So in these joints that have full range of motion, like our shoulders and our hips, we want to make sure that we are rolling inward and outward to get the optimal opening and full range of motion in those hips. Stretch your legs out to each corner of the mat, allow them to release. Let your shoulders relax as your palms rotate to the ceiling. Your arms are down by your sides. Go ahead and close your eyes here. And try to release your full body. Let your legs be heavy. Allow your belly to sink down. Allow the ribs to sink down toward the mat. Let your chest release. Let your shoulders go. You may have to tuck your chin slightly to lengthen through the back of your neck. Find a position that you feel completely comfortable and supported in. And now let your breath go. So don't worry about keeping that inhale to a count of 4 and an exhale to a count of 4. Take a breath pattern that is unconscious for you, where you do not have to think about what you're doing. And see if you can allow your mind to be so clear and open that you're absolutely completely present in your body for these last few minutes. I'm going to leave you now just to relax and release in silence. And when it's time to wake up again, I'll call you back. It's time to wake up. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Roll your wrists and your ankles. Reach your arms overhead, flex through your feet. Take a big stretch. and then roll onto your left side. Keep your eyes closed as you press up to a seated position. Your hands will go onto your knees, and we'll take that finishing breath. Inhale to a count of 4 and exhale to a count of 4 through the nose. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Again. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale out. 3, 2, 1. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Place your right hand onto your heart, your left hand on your belly, and repeat in your mind, may these practices heal and strengthen my body and my mind. May these practices heal and strengthen my body and my mind. Hands together at your heart. Thank you for coming and joining me for class today. I hope you feel refreshed, and I will see you next time.